Hi everyone, so my name is Catherine and we'll be taking you through our Engineering 6 game presentation. Our game is called MidNight, and first we're gonna tell you who worked on what. So,
hi, I'm Julia and I worked on the main components of the GUI, the functions, and the callbacks.
Hi, I'm Jinwen. I mainly worked on the online connection and something like that.
Hello, my name is Muji. I work on the indexing and I'm gonna work on the video editing.
so I helped Julia with the GUI and some part of the indexing area. I helped Yingwen with online stuff, being able to display the dices of the other player.
Okay, now let's talk about how generally each component works. UI will be the place where all the main components assemble. We have the push button, message box, checkbox, static text, and axes.
So with our push buttons, we have 5 main ones, or main types. The start button only applies to the online version of the game, where it'll give the players access online so they can play on 2 separate devices. And then the rest of them are in both versions of the game. So first you have your help button, which displays a message box whenever it's clicked. It'll just display the rules in case the player needs to go over them. And then the first button they'll use is the initial roll button, which will basically re-roll, or it'll roll the dice, and it'll display 6 random numbers between 1 through 6. And it contains the if, for, switch, and enable components. And then after they push this for the first time, it'll be disabled, and then the player will continue to play using the reroll button, which basically has the same components, except in this case, it'll check to make sure that there's a 1 and a 4 in the final score, and if there isn't, it'll display a message saying that they're disqualified and their score will automatically be set to 0. It also, during each turn, if the player doesn't check any checkboxes, it'll just show a message saying you need to check at least 1 box. And then in the very end, when each player has all 6 dice each, they can press final result, and this will show a video saying the results of the game and who won.
Another component of the GUI is a message box, where before players begin to play, you have a message box showing how to play the game. And then for the dice animation, we use the axis. We'll show a blank image at first. After we hit the initial button, you will show 6 randomized dice image. And then in order to keep and index the dice, we use a checkbox. After you click the checkbox, the corresponding dice will be disabled, and the corresponding value will be transferred to the static text. So there's 3 components to the static text. We have the store value, where we store the value of initial roll, but it will be invisible in the GUI. And you also display the keep dice, where the player can keep track of the score. And lastly, you also display the final score after each player finishes.
And we're gonna show you how to play our Engineering 6 game called MidNight.
Yeah, and this version is on 1 computer, and later we'll show how we play online on 2 computers.
So we're gonna first click the run button in order to play. Once that happens, a message box appears showing you how to play the game. So you have to play with 2 players, and each player gets 6 dice to roll. So in order to win, you have to have the highest number of points, and each player has the choice to choose which dice they want to keep. And they must click on a 1 and a 4 in order to win. So, and if they don't, they get disqualified. So I'll push OK, and I will be player 1. So I'll click now. So as you can see, the dice are being rolled, and I have the option to choose whichever dice I want. So I'm just gonna click the 1 and the 6. So now it's player 2's turn.
Yeah, so it's my turn, and I just click on player 2 row. As you can see, the player 1 row and reroll is disabled because it is done and it's my turn. So I choose 1 and 5. And so it's now player 1's row.
So since I have these boxes checked already, I'm gonna click the reroll button. So the dice that are unchecked are gonna be rolled again. And I'm gonna click on this one. So now that I clicked on it, it's player 2's turn.
Yeah, it's my turn, and the unchecked box will be rerolled, and I just check again. Because we need 4 and 1, I check 4, and it's 4 and 3, and 3, and I'm done. And so it's the player 1's roll.
So I'm just gonna show an example if you were not to click on a button. So I'm gonna uncheck that, and if I don't click on one, then a message would pop up saying that I have to check one. You must check at least one box. So I'm just gonna push OK. So just to finish the game faster, I'm just gonna click on all these buttons. Since I only have a 1, you're gonna see that I'm gonna be disqualified. So I just push OK. So now it's player 2's turn.
Yeah, I click on the reroll button to give the checked boxes to the results. So as player 1 don't have a 4, so she's being disqualified, and so her score is 0. And now we click on that again to find the final result.
So after all your dice has been clicked, you have to still click it again. So I'm gonna click on player 1 reroll. So I'm disqualified, so then it's player 2's turn.
I click on the reroll button, and now we can find the result.
So once both the player 2 and player 1 are enabled, then we're able to click the final result. So we're gonna see who wins. It displays a video on who won. So player 2 won. So congrats, player 2. So now we're gonna show you how to play the online game. You need to make sure you have all of these open. And now we're gonna start. So we're gonna click run. So again, it tells you the rules. Now
We click on the start button. It connects you to the internet, the Google Sheet, and we just do the settings.
So highlight the code. Since I already have the link opened right here, I just have to put in the code. But if you didn't, then you will have to copy and paste the link and then enter your code. So you just choose one of the emails that you want, and you have to allow it in order to play the game. So allow. So now that is set up. Now we go back to the game. Now when you have that ready, just push enter, and I'm gonna be player 1.
And I'll be player 2. And enter.
Since I'm player 1, I go first. So player 1 roll. So I'm gonna click these buttons, and then click again. So how this goes is that player 1 has to do all their rows, and then when I'm done doing that, player 2 can now play. So I'm gonna play again.
So I'm waiting for the player 2 roll and player 2 reroll button to be enabled, and now I can play now because player 1 is done.
So since my screen is disabled, so right now I just have to wait until player 2 is done playing. So right now player 2 is playing.
Yeah, and I choose the box I like, and I can reroll. Yeah, and I choose the last box. And now we are waiting for the data to be transformed and compared and to show the result. We'll just wait.
So once the results are displayed, I'll be able to see, once the player 2 receives their final score, I'll be able to see their dice on my screen.
Yeah. So now the score is showed, and now we can see both the results.
This is what pops up. As you can see, player 2 was displayed. And this is a video determining who wins, or
Yeah, we can see the results from both screens. Yep.
B, it says tie, so we both win. Or you can say we both lost. So now that's over, and that's how you play our online game.
Yeah.
So that's our game.
Thanks for watching.